Once upon a time, in a cozy little corner of the world, there lived a mother pig with her 3 adorable little pigs. As they grew bigger and bigger, their small home started to feel a bit too snug. One sunny morning, Mother Pig gathered her children and said, "My dears, it's time for you to go out into the big wide world and build your own homes. But remember my words, whatever you do, do it the very best you can. That's the key to success and safety." With a kiss and a wave, she sent them off on their grand adventure. The 3 little pigs trotted down the road together, full of excitement. Soon they came across a friendly farmer pulling a cart full of straw. The first little pig, who was perhaps a bit too eager to start playing, thought to himself, "Straw, that looks easy. I can build a house in no time and have the rest of the day to relax." He politely asked the farmer, "Sir, could I please have some of your straw to build a house?" The kind farmer agreed, and in just a few hours the first little pig had a lovely little house made of golden straw. He danced around it, singing, "My house is built, my work is done. Now it's time for lots of fun." The other 2 pigs waved goodbye and continued on their way. Before long, they met a woodsman with a bundle of strong, sturdy sticks. The second little pig looked at the sticks and thought, sticks are stronger than straw, and it still won't take too long to build a house. He approached the woodsman and asked, "Excuse me, may I have some of those sticks to build my house?" The woodsman gave him a large bundle, and the second pig got to work. He hammered and tied the sticks together, and soon he had a fine-looking house of sticks. It was a bit more work than the straw house, but he was proud. He called out, "My house is done. It's strong and neat. Now for a tasty treat to eat." The third little pig watched his brother and thought, "My mother told me to do my very best. Straw is too weak, and sticks might not be strong enough. I need to build a house that will last." So he walked on alone. He walked and he walked until he saw a bricklayer with a cart full of heavy red bricks. His little piggy face lit up. "This is it," he thought. He went up to the man and asked, "Please, sir, could I have some of those bricks to build a house?" The bricklayer, seeing the determination in the little pig's eyes, gladly gave him a pile of bricks and some mortar. Building a house of bricks was hard work. The third little pig had to mix the mortar, lay each brick carefully, and make sure the walls were straight and strong. The sun was hot, and his little piggy muscles ached. He saw his brothers playing in the distance, but he didn't stop. He worked all day long, and finally, as the sun began to set, his solid brick house was complete. It had a strong door, a sturdy roof, and even a big fireplace and a chimney. He sighed with satisfaction. "My work was hard. My house is sound. The safest little pig around." Now, in the nearby woods lived a big, bad wolf. He had a very rumbling tummy and had been watching the 3 little pigs all day. Licking his lips, he decided it was time for a piggy feast. He crept up to the first little pig's house of straw. He knocked on the door and said in a sweet voice, "Little pig, little pig. Let me come in." The first little pig peeked through a crack and saw the wolf's big pointy ears. He squeaked, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." The wolf growled, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in quash." He blew with all his might, and the straw house flew away in a cloud of dust. The terrified little pig ran as fast as his little legs could carry him, all the way to his brother's house of sticks. He burst through the door, shouting, "The wolf! The wolf is coming!" Just then they heard a knock. It was the wolf, who said, little pigs, let me come in." Together, the two pigs cried out, "Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins." The wolf's voice turned angry. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in it." He huffed and he puffed, and the stick house began to shake. He huffed again, even harder, and he puffed with a mighty roar and crack. The house of sticks collapsed into a pile of kindling. The two frightened pigs scrambled out of the wreckage and raced towards their brother's brick house. They pounded on the strong wooden door. "Let us in! Let us in! The big bad wolf is after us." The third little pig quickly opened the door, and his two brothers tumbled inside, slamming it shut just as the wolf arrived. The wolf was getting very frustrated and very hungry. He banged on the brick door. Little pigs, let me come in." All three pigs shouted back, their voices trembling but united, "Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins." The wolf snarled, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." He huffed, he puffed, but the brick house didn't even tremble. He huffed and puffed again and again until he was completely out of breath and his face turned red, but not a single brick moved. The house stood strong. The wolf was furious, but also clever. He decided to try and trick the pigs. He called out, "Little pig, I know where there is a nice field of sweet turnips." The third little pig, peeking from the window, asked, "Where in Mr. Smith's field?" Said the wolf, "I'll come for you tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, and we can go together." But the little pig was even cleverer. He woke up at 5 o'clock, went to the field, gathered a pot full of turnips, and was back home cooking them for breakfast long before the wolf arrived. At 6, the wolf knocked. "Little pig, are you ready?" The little pig smiled and said, "Ready. I've already been and come back, and I have a lovely pot of boiled turnips for my breakfast." The wolf was enraged. He tried again. "Little pig," he said, "I know where there's a beautiful apple tree." "Where?" asked the pig. "Down at Merry Garden," replied the wolf. "I'll meet you there at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning." The next day, the pig was up at 4 o'clock and hurried to the apple tree. But this time, the journey took longer. And just as he was climbing down with a basket of apples, he saw the wolf coming. "Aha! You're here before me," growled the wolf. "Are they nice apples?" The quick-thinking pig replied, "Yes, very." "Here, I'll throw one down for you." He threw an apple as far as he could, and while the wolf was chasing it, the little pig jumped down and ran all the way home. The wolf was absolutely furious. He had been outsmarted twice. He stormed up to the brick house and shouted, "That's it! I'm coming to get you." He climbed onto the roof, intending to slide down the chimney, but the third little pig had heard him scrambling around up there. Thinking fast, he told his brothers to help him. They quickly placed their big cooking pot full of water on the fire right under the chimney. Just as the wolf squeezed himself down the chimney, the little pig took the lid off the pot. With a loud splash, the wolf fell right into the boiling water. He yelped, shot back up the chimney like a rocket, and ran away over the hills, never to be seen again. From that day on, the three little pigs lived together happily in the strong brick house. The first two pigs had learned a very important lesson from their wise brother. It always pays to do your best, and that hard work and dedication can keep you safe and sound. And they all agreed that their mother was the wisest pig of all. Thanks for joining us for this classic story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures. See you next time.